Morning. We're going to divide some hostas. Now we're middle of the summer. It's really hot again. I mean, it's a bit cloudy this morning at the moment, but it's going to be, I think they said close to 36, 37 degrees today with the humidity. But we're going to start splitting some hostas. Now, the reason I do it at this time of year is to give me more plant material for the nursery. It's a really good time to be doing hostas. In the spring, when we typically would divide them, or most gardeners would typically divide them, we're all so busy. We're really busy trying to get everything done, everything tidied up. Whereas now things are a little slower. It gives us a little bit more opportunity to get in and, like I said, divide some hostas. Now we're not going to dig the whole plant. We're just going to take some a piece off the side. I'm going to show you a couple. And I'm going to take them. We'll take them back up to the barn, and we'll show you what we do. It differs slightly in the way that we treat them, as to if in the spring, obviously, we would dig them, chop them up, and then we replant them. We're going to put these into pots. Now, you don't have to put them into pots. You could put them into the garden. So we're going to have a go at these two at the front. Now, I'm going to take material off the back. I'm not going to, and like I say, I'm not digging the whole plant. So I'm looking for a spot where I can get my spade in without doing too much damage. So I'm going to pick that as the spot right there. Put the spade in, and as usual, oh, nice crunching roots. Now this garden that we're in at the moment is the overflow from the pond. Now it's not wet, and it's actually really dry. So yeah, the pond's not, we've not had any rain, so the pond is really not overflowing much at the moment.
That's really dry, isn't it?
So that's the piece we're going to look at dealing with. And as Julie says, that's really dry at the moment, but it's got a nice root system on. So we'll put that into the crate. Get down on the hands and knees as usual. Straighten this one back up a bit. Just firm that back in around. And there, that one will sit there quite happy now. Give it a chance to fill out a little. And we'll do the one next door. Again, we're just going to take a piece off the back side where hopefully you won't notice. These do actually, all of them really need lifting and dividing. But as I say, in the spring, it's one of those things that I just do not have the time to do. So again, get the spade in there. This is I call this my big boy spade. There we go. And again,
that looks so harsh, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. Again, nice root system, but really dry. But do not fear, they will be fine. Let me just straighten this out a bit in here.
Now, would you water the bit where you've
no,
just left it?
No, wouldn't bother. That's got a really good root system on. That will come back. So yeah, I mean, if you're nice and tidy about it, you barely know from a distance that anybody's been in there and taken any.
This is just so nice to be able to double up on the hostas that you really like in your garden.
Now you can, if you want, you could just lift the whole plant and use the same technique, and maybe we'll do that. We've got a variety called blue mouse ears. Maybe we'll go find one of those and we'll dig a whole plant. But the treatment is still slightly different to the way that you would transplant in the spring. So we'll take these back up top and we'll see you back up in the barn. So back up at the barn, I've just rigged up a temporary potting bench. It's too hot in the prop tunnel to pot. There's no room in the shade tunnel because I've kind of filled it up with plants. So anyway, temporary potting bench in here. So the first thing we're going to do with these hostas is stick it in a bucket of water. Do you hear that? No, the big sigh of relief from it because it's got water. You didn't hear it?
I know, I can hear it.
Right, so we're going to get as much of this dirt off of here. I think that's pretty good. Right, back to the bench we go. Now let's see what we've got here. So that's what we end up with. We're looking to get multiples very similar to that. This one, unfortunately, doesn't appear to have a bud on it. Oh, let's look for another one. It'll still be fine. But these are really, oh jeez. On the floor we go. So again, we're going to split these right down into individuals, which takes a little bit of, some of these, it takes a bit of doing. There we go. So now there's one with a really nice root system on. So we'll pull out all the dead roots. There's another. And another. So we'll do the rest of those later. And then get the secateurs. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to chop off all of that. And that's all I'm left with. Is basically that. Nice root system. It'll form new buds once it starts to root. In fact, I can see the beginning is really small, but there's a really tiny buds are just started to form right in the very base. So we're going to trim all these back.
So you trim to leave the smallest leaf?
I'll leave the smallest one, yes.
And then why do we do that?
Well, we just need a little bit of greenery there to encourage it to photosynthesize a little bit. So in other words, to make some food for itself so that it can then root. So that's what we've left with. I'm just, like I say, I could be here all day if I did all of them, but out of that, so I still have that amount of the clump left. There's probably another 10 or 15 in there. So I have 4 nice ones here. And then these, I put them back in, I put them into pots. Now, you don't have to, you could put them into the garden if you wanted to. But obviously, as a nursery, we were trying to grow these to sell on. So we're just going to pot this as normal. Now, the compost is just my ordinary standard mix, peat perlite, very, very small amount of fertilizer in here. And I mean, when I say small amount, I mean very small amount. We're using the time release. So 1, 2. And then again, nice root system. Lots of places there. Yep, more buds starting. Right at the, again, that one, right at the very base, you can see those 2 little, oh.
Yeah,
just see them?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to be the new buds. That'll be the new shoots. These now will be, they'll be put in the shade house. As soon as they start to send out some new shoots, I'll take these long leaves off, and then they'll be left in the shade house for the whole winter. And this will be a really nice, strong, probably have 5 or 6 leaves on it, ready to plant out, ready to get going next spring. So, been and dug up Hosta blue mouse ears. If you're looking for a small hosta, that'll take full sun, and it really is nice and compact. That's one plant, and it does have a really nice, pretty flower on it as well. This is a really good one.
Quite a lot of flowers.
Yeah, they do. They flower really well, and the flowers hang around for a long time on this one. So yeah, it's obviously a lot smaller than the other ones that I did a little earlier. So this one's going to get the same treatment. We have this is, like I say, one plant. So we're going to drop it in the bucket again. These are really, really solid. They should have been split and divided 2 or 3 years ago, but again, it's that period in the spring when they should be split and divided that I just don't have the time to do it. Whereas now, it's a little easier.
They actually seem to be splitting themselves.
Oh yeah,
quite readily.
yeah, they're falling apart really nicely. So again, you can see they do not. This one does not take a lot of pulling apart. Now I could, if I wanted, I could pull that, but I don't think I'm going to.
I'm just coming around.
Yep. So I could pull that apart.
Just tease it.
Yep. Well, not great, but they'll be fine.
Most people don't need to split them quite so small.
No,
do they?
you wouldn't need to. And I mean, obviously, we do it because we're looking to sell plants and we're greedy and we want more plants to sell. So the more we split, the better for us. But yeah, these are, compared to the others, these are a piece of cake to split. They literally. Now that one won't. Let me wash a bit more off and I'll show you why. Now that looks like it would split. But if I try and split that, I can tell you now, where these two join here, I'll end up, if I split that, this one, this side will have no root on it. So I'm going to leave that. Again, it's still a nice little plant to put into a pot, and we're still going here. Another one.
So don't be afraid to give it a good old...
Oh no, tug it, pull it apart. And if it gets really tough like that, just use your secateurs. And whenever you're splitting anything and you're using secateurs, don't do this. Come from the bottom. I'm going to wash a bit more of that dirt off, which will make it a bit easier. So now I've done that, I can actually see, I don't need the secateurs, I can pull it apart. There. These are really nice. So, we are going to remove everything apart from that. We're just going to leave one little leaf on them. That one, because I have so many, I'm not worried about. We'll throw that in the bin. Those two I'm going to leave as one. So again, we're going to take off everything above one if I can leave it. Definitely the flower has to come out. That probably, if I wanted, I could pull apart and split. And then you can see actually the new buds on this right there.
I can see. Just
starting to form. They're late this year, and I think it's because it's been so dry. So yeah, we're just going to trim all those up. I'm not going to do all of them and bore you to tears. And it's the same process. Now these are much smaller. I mean, those other ones that I did earlier, I was putting into a 4.5 by 4.5 by 5 inch deep. I'm not going to put these into such a big pot. They don't need it. I'm going to use just a small, much smaller pot. The roots can be trimmed. Give them a little pruning. And
so it's just put a bit of compost in the bottom.
Yeah, and then that's all there is to it. Again, don't be frightened just to tidy up the roots. Here we have a different, and you can see the difference in colour. So there's nice, this year's new roots. These are old roots where you can see it's part of the ode. The ode piece of Hosta that's where it shot from last year before. That's died out because it's got overcrowded, and then it's moving out and it's formed another one. So that actually, and always cut from the bottom when you're cutting pieces off. Just enough so that you can, there. So that's garbage, don't need that. And then that's got nice new shoots on it, nice new shoots coming from the roots. And that's all there is to it. So I'll get the rest of those potted. Give them a good watering as I did with the others. I'll put them into the shade house. I'm going to take a picture so that you can see what they look like now, and then we'll come back in 2, 3, 4 weeks time and we'll show you some more pictures, maybe a bit of video, and show you how well they're doing. But yeah, thank you very much.